It's Chris Webby, and you're listening to motherfucking Boombox.
Yo, what up, fam? This is Adrian Castellanos, and we're currently at the Pin here in Spokane.
Cool last name.
With Chris Webby right now. And we just wanted to get a couple questions and a quick interview before he headed out.
That works.
And since Chris Webby has been touring off a successful mixtape titled Webster Laboratory 2, which was released in June, we wanted to know a little bit more about what got you initiated into that project.
Well, I mean, that project was a sequel, obviously, Webster's Laboratory 1, which was one of my earlier mixtapes, one of the ones that crashed at Piff, which was, like, at the time, super accolade.
Exactly.
And I released this one actually on the 5-year anniversary to the day of the first one.
Oh, good.
So I think that was like a cool little Easter egg, you know.
Exactly.
And it just, you know, mixtapes, it's a different playing field, music in general, hip-hop.
Exactly.
So mixtapes don't get as much airtime as they once did, you know, but I grew up a mixtape rapper, you know, and I had delved into other worlds. I did the EPs, I did the full-length album that was in stores and all that cool shit. And then it just felt right to kind of dip back into the mixtape pool for a little bit and just, you know, give the fans something entirely free, full project. I mean, when I say mixtape, I approach it with the same structure and blueprint of an album.
Exactly.
There's just some samples in the beat and shit like that. But it's not like, you know, I take any less time with it. I still treat it.
Would you say that you have more fun doing mixtapes than you do like EPs and albums? I
mean, making music in general, the thing I say, just being a rapper, there's a lot of, you know, high highs and low lows.
Exactly,
and the best parts is being on stage and being in the studio. You know, and it makes all the in-between bullshit worth it.
Straight up.
You know, so being in the studio, regardless of what the fuck I'm working on, if I'm given free reign to be creative and I'm in there with other creative people and we're just, it's a whole process and it's amazing, it's beautiful, and I think it's, that's probably my favorite part out of everything. As much as I love being on stage, that's dope, but creating, you know, taking something from nothing to you leave the studio with a song, I think that's just cool.
I think it's liberty to just say what's on your head.
Absolutely.
We always got these ideas that are running through us.
Oh yeah.
And we don't ventilate and say any of those things, and we just kind of hurt ourselves a little bit.
Yes. No, it's absolutely true. If you don't get it out, especially a lot of creative-minded people, you know, have tendencies to dip into, you know, a darker thought process, depression and anxiety and shit like that. And this has always kind of been my way of getting it out. Everybody has different ways. Some people punch walls, you know?
Exactly.
Whatever they may do. They drive fast on the highway. Me, I write songs, and that's just what allows me to keep moving.
It allows you to open up a little more.
Absolutely.
Rather than
and in the same process, I'm getting shit off my chest and everybody's hearing it, which is also kind of an intense concept if you think about it.
Yeah.
You're putting out your most personal, deepest thoughts out there for the world to hear, but I feel like without people like that, other people wouldn't know how to process their shit sometimes. So I see it almost as a duty in a sense too.
That's what makes us human, is being able to express. Because if we didn't express anything, we'd just be stoic.
Absolutely.
Like then look at us like a rock. Or nothing, almost nothing. Like so, the minute
you got to be able to get it out, and the job falls upon certain people with a certain mindset to help everyone else through it.
Exactly.
And I've taken that role upon myself.
Yeah. I agree with you. Our second question is, what has been the highlight of the tour?
This tour, I gotta give it to my birthday weekend in Colorado. It was fucking insane. Fucking insane. And just birthdays, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
My birthday was on a Thursday, and then we had shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and in Colorado. Yeah, I just rode that shit out the whole time. I got so fucking drunk, and the altitude up there gets you drunker. Oh my god, man, I was fucking disastrously hammered every night. But it was a great time, and all the shows were incredible, awesome turnouts, and I have a lot of love for Colorado. I have a lot of love for Washington. I have a lot of love for everywhere I go. The people who come out, regardless of what number that population is, the people come out and they have a great time and they rock the fuck out with me, and that's what's awesome. And I'm able to do that. That's such a blessing that, you know, some people let their egos intertwine and they're worried like, oh, there's only so many people here. It's like, motherfucker, I'm across the country and I'm rapping on stage and getting paid to do so. It's an amazing thing, and you just rock.
It's like being able to have those fans
Absolutely.
Shows you that, man.
I bet that PlayStation 4 controller was crazy to me.
Oh yeah, the kid brought the Chris Webby collab PlayStation 4 controller, which I made 15 white PS4, 15 black PS4, and then the same for Xbox. So they were very limited edition, yeah. They were like $150, come in the case and everything. It was like, yeah, they're an expensive product to make, hand painted. They were fucking, yeah. So that was dope. That one of those people was
actually came out and do it.
Yeah.
No. Our third question was, what's your favorite alcohol?
Serious question?
I don't know, you're non-alcoholic. I know you're Jameson, that's how you drink now.
Yeah, I only named the project after it. But non-alcoholic, I gotta give that to Welch's white grape juice. I've been drinking it since I was a little kid, and when I am home, that is my, that's what I drink with my dinner. You know what I mean? Other than that, water. Like water all day. Well, just white grape juice, you know, orange juice in the morning. But aside from that, I don't drink soda. I don't get too crazy with my other. Nah, it's just all about the water, hydration, and then, but only Welch's. Only Welch's. Yeah, this other white grape juice bullshit that's going on. I don't know.
Our next question was, what is the most stressful thing about being a rapper, and how do you vent?
Well, I mean, we spoke about venting, so I mean, that's definitely the way in which I vent, but I mean, there's a lot of stresses that come along with it. I would say one of the biggest things is once you attain popularity, maintaining popularity and remaining relevant in a world that's so full of so many rappers. Like even when I first started coming out, there were half the rappers there are today, which I came out in a pretty heavy populated time. So nowadays the internet has just opened these floodgates.
It's helped a lot.
And I mean, it's helped and it's hurt, because you get some amazing artists that cut through and are given this platform, and then you also, you know, not to say anything derogatory, but you also get people that are far less talented.
Exactly. So you get this concentration.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like you constantly have to be thinking about. It's not like I clock out. You know, I don't work a job, long hours, and then clock out, and I'm just free to think about nothing and watch TV. Like, I'm always thinking about what could I do, who could I call, should I check my email, like, should I write a song, do I need to start ordering merch for the next, like, there's just always everything, and I always feel like I could be doing something. And that's pretty daunting in itself. I would say another stressful part is just getting from point A to point B on these fucking tours, dude, because I'll tell you about the West Coast, these tour stops are very far apart from each other, unlike the East Coast where it's kind of like, you know, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, everything is very close.
So how many hours do you have, like, to plan ahead for, like, stuff like this, like going from tour to tour?
Well, I mean, my man Bill over here, who is tour manager and designated driver, shout out to Bill. He kills it on the road, man, and we've had some fucking serious drives. I mean, what was the one we did? We had Arizona. This was the worst one so far on this one. We had Arizona. Then we drove to Arizona from California, so that's like 7 hours, I would say, 6, 7 hours. And then we performed in Arizona, after partied at this poppin' fucking place in Arizona, and then we drove back to LA for the next show. So we showed up at LA at like 9:30 in the morning. I would like had a jacket over my head, like, oh man, I felt like a vampire in the fucking sunlight, just burning. Yeah, so like this shit beats the shit out of your body, and mentally and physically this shit is exhausting, and that can get people down, and it gets me down sometimes, but you just push through it, man. It's all mind over matter.
You know, I always gotta ask that question because I always see two stories. Either some people enjoy it, or some people are just like, man, this is like so much more work.
I mean, nobody enjoys it all the time, but you also gotta understand too, like, we're not on a tour bus right now. You know what I mean? I'm not Jay-Z. We don't have just infinite funding, so we're out here in the trenches, man. We drive, we're in a van or a car or whatever, everything's packed in, like it's not super comfy, we're not just like laying around in beds all day. Like, we get to a city, we go to sound check, we eat, we shower, we fucking come back, perform, and then get whatever fucking sleep we can fit in between, and then we get up and drive the next day.
I think the drummer's trying to get up in here. Everybody's trying to come in.
Fuck Billy. Somebody's gonna address the elephant in the room.
I was like, he's been tapping at the window for a minute.
Yeah, you had some nice fucking. Oh man. You know, that's how we gotta end Left Lane now. Just where you that last hook, because that was hard. Very hard.
Shouts out the DJ one time also.
Oh,
What's up?
And you see, it's a group effort. You know what I mean? Like, you need the DJ, and for me, like after working with a drummer, you need the drummer. It gives it such a deep feel, and then you need Bill, who drives us and makes sure everything else is copacetic, and then you know, I do my part, and it's really a team effort, and everybody fucking sacrifices a lot to be out here. And yeah, my merch guy, who's been out there, he gets dropped off at fucking Soundcheck, and he has to stay here all night.
That's merch right there. Trip.
That's some really awkward camera movement. Apologies, I was confused.
Oh no, it's cool though. It's raw, man.
No, I'm laughing at you.
We're not shooting like a school project. You know, this is what it is. We're backstage after a hip hop show.
Keep it raw as fuck.
Yeah, man.
Our next question is, what's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve, I hate when people are just really adamant about proving their point, and they're wrong, and they're uneducated about what they're saying, and they're not receptive to anything you have to say. When people are so sure that they are right, because no one knows everything. No. And that's one thing you learn at a certain age. You realize all the adults that you grew up listening to, and when you're a kid, you're like, oh, they know everything. You realize, like, oh shit, they didn't know shit. And like, we don't know shit. And like, nobody knows shit. So people who are so hell-bent in their ways and non-receptive to someone else's opinion and trying to push their agenda, like, you gotta understand, everyone has opinions, and as opinionated as I may be about certain things, I will always listen and hear someone out and just see what world they're coming from, because they might bring something up that I never really thought about, because it doesn't apply to my life.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you just gotta listen to people, and all this Facebook and fucking all these people with their opinions now, and it's unbelievable. Not everyone has an educated opinion, yet everyone thinks they are the absolute source for whatever they're talking about. So that frustrates me. And as someone who has to be social networking all the time, I see a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's frustrating, but you just learn to not acknowledge it.